Greetings, everyone. Good time zone to you. Welcome to your draft week here on Going Optimal. We are going to jump into a traditional Theros Beyond Death draft. That means best of 3. Right now, we don't even have best of 1 available if we wanted to, but as much as I would like Wizards to give us back the option to have ranked draft of the current set at all times, I don't mind. I don't really mind being forced into best of 3 here and there. We have the gems for it, and I do like the strategy of sideboarding. Thinking about what cards in your sideboard are good in what matchups and bringing them in appropriately and cutting especially cutting the things that are not good in the matchup. It's an underrated skill. I think it does impact a lot of win percentage, and is part of the reason my win percentage is a lot higher in best of 3 than best of 1, besides the raw math of it. And so anyway, we're going to jump in and see which way the bots direct us. But before we do, I'm going to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. I'm going to direct you there because they are amazing. They've got everything you need for your physical game. Gosh, you need to sideboard in Constructed even more carefully than in Limited. And sometimes you realize you've got a good deck going, but you need to adjust that sideboard. Maybe you need to go to Card Kingdom and pick up a couple of hate cards to bring in against the meta to add to your juggernaut of a standard deck or a modern deck. Maybe you're into Pioneer. Pioneer is changing the secondary landscape a lot, and if you're on the cutting edge of something in Pioneer, maybe you have found the rare that's going to explode in value soon, and you can pick up 4 copies of for yourself at Card Kingdom. Maybe pick up some extras if you really think they're going to blow up. But they're going to take care of you. They always do. I have never had a bad experience when shopping from Card Kingdom. Literally never. 100%, and I shop there a lot. Thank you, Card Kingdom. If you go there, my affiliate link down below in the panels, they know you came there from here. That helps me out. And if you are ever going to purchase from Card Kingdom anyway, and you remember my little stream, you can come back, click the affiliate link before you purchase, and then they know that they're making sales through this here stream. It's just also helpful to me. Thanks a lot, though, for hanging. Let's see what our Pack 1 Pick 1 is. Get out of your way as well. Sometimes I remember to get out of your way. Sometimes. Thaumaturge is fine. Apathy and Brawler, I think I like better. Although this is fine. There's nothing else really in the pack. Final Flare is fine. But the cheap removal that works with the themes of the set and successfully kind of cuts white is appealing to me. Thaumaturge is good. Fenrir thinks Thaumaturge is great. I think it's good. I don't know about great. Obviously, it's pretty variable, right? It can be great. Let's go ahead and pull this one, though. I would say, again, for this account, don't worry too much about gems because we're flush. If you are someone who is minding your gems extremely carefully, I do recommend snapping up this Thaumaturge. It's playable gems, and if you're an account that is often scraping at 0, you do want to be taking playable gems when you can. We're flush enough to take whatever we want, but I always want to call out what I think free-to-play players really managing their budget need to be doing, which is taking playable when it's fairly close. You know, you could argue Apathy or Brawler is better, but if it's close and you're managing your budget, you really do want to take those playable gems. But I'm going to pull this one here, and we'll see about Pro T. Let's see. I'm going to call the rare Pro, just Pro. Pro, Brawler, and Apathy. Pro, Brawler, and Apathy. What do you think? Right, Lizard.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Lizard says you earn more gems by winning. That runs exactly contrary to what I'm trying to express, though, Lizard. If it were as simple as take the thing that gives you the highest win percentage because win percentage is always the best gem percentage, then that's what I would say. But the problem is with that statement, Lizard, is that it's not always true. In fact, fundamentally that's the question. At what point does the win percentage increase of Brawler equal, or Apathy, for example, equal a greater expectation on gem return than a slightly weaker card that comes with a built-in gem return into it. And it's the rare with the built-in gem return way more often than you think, Lizard. You're not losing drafts by taking... Well, you're not losing drafts. That's an extreme way to put it. You are slightly lowering your win percentage over a different pick. Oh, I missed a meme redemption. Which one? And I thank you for that sub, too. I see Java subbed. Appreciate that. Scrolling up. Oh, there it is. Meme Machine. Foil King wants... profit. No, Lizard, I think you're thinking about it. You're not wrong in your thought process, but just think entirely in terms. Like, it depends on whether you're like right now we're trying to approach things with win percentage in mind. But if you're trying to approach it as gem maximization, it's a formula between win percentage and gem, which I'll get into. I swear I'm gonna get into that with more detail later. Everybody wants the apathy over the brawler, and so then it's just a question of Protean versus apathy. We'll take the apathy. Now, what do we got? We got this inevitable end that has been doing much solid work here. It's not the best black removal in the format, but it tends to get its creature. I would say probably 90 to 95% of the time that this has been cast on anything of mine, I sacrifice that thing at the beginning of upkeep. It's very rare that the ability to sacrifice something else really comes back to hurt you. But sometimes it's because sack something else and I win, you know. But that being said, is there anything else even, like, what else are we taking? I went right to it because I just didn't see anything else here. We're not going to take a Triumphant Surge. Captivating Unicorn and Glory Bearers are a little bit... Wah. So I think the best card here is Inevitable End. I'm going to take it and see where we go. Archon number 1 or Apathy number 2 or Warbrier's Blessing number 1. I don't see taking Warbriar Blessing number 1 over Apathy number 2. Might as well just match our first pick. But with Inevitable End and Apathy, you can certainly make an argument for just Archon. I'm going to do a real quick poll on this. I'm curious where chat is at on Archon versus Apathy, but I think that's the clear pick here. We'd like to stay towards white, and the question is 6-drop or more of this premium removal. Hard to pass premium removal, but in a sense this is premium removal because when it dies it's hopefully you're going to get us premium removal back. I'm leaning Apathy, but I'll go with whatever chat says here. Yeah, chat has Archon by 2. I'll go with chat, but I would personally take Apathy. Resonator wants the Nyx lands. All right. Now what do we got? A Sunmane Pegasus keeps us on white and cuts the color. Charger is solid. Berserker is playable if not exciting. Same with Omen and Altar. A lot of red here that's just whatever. I like kind of not taking the red and hoping that some bots downstream maybe take some of this and get into red. So I think, yeah, it's a pretty easy Pegasus, right? We want to be in white here. It's a very solid card. This is kind of the card that's maybe risen the most for me. I saw the 2/3 flyer for 4 and thought kind of whatever, but it's really performed quite well. I think we take Daxos here over Revoker, Sunmane. These tend to go pretty late, so we can probably snap up a couple more Sunmanes. I do really want to revoke before we get out of this draft, but Daxos with this heavy white, like we don't know if we're playing the Inevitable End. We can just, this leans us into heavier white. And I'm going to, also this Daxos is incredible into Chimera. Daxos on 2 into Chimera on 3 is the real deal if we end up with any of those, so. Coming up, Millhouse here. Pilgrim pick 6 is great. Good sign for us. Not only is Pilgrim pick 6 a good sign, but there's 3 other playable white cards. So, snapping up Pilgrim. It effectively is a copy of Apathy. And now we have a pick 7 revoke. But we have a Caryatid, and we have a Rage Hound, and we have a Siona. Probably just going to take the Siona here and hedge on possibly heading that way. Although, again, I do want to revoke. I hear you, Fenor. But even if we're bringing in a revoke, we're not necessarily... Yeah, I do want to revoke Fenor, but I don't know if I can pass Siona when this may be... if we end up green-white, this could be one of the better cards. Well, Siona's medium if you don't have the sure thing of going and finding quality auras. But if you're almost certain to get an aura, Siona is fine. I'm going to hedge towards Siona. I know she's not a bomb, but I like the hedge there. What do we got here? Probably just Flicker. I think Siona's fine. Probably want a Rage Hound here, though, over an Amulet. We could easily end up white-red aggro from here. Yeah, you could make an argument for Amulet, but I don't know what our second color is yet. And if it's red, we're going to love to have this Rage Hound. So we're going to continue to hedge towards possible second colors over taking a generic playable like the Amulet. Although we get into controlling colors, we would like white whatever X would be nice with the Amulet, but I think Hound is too good. With the possibility of an aggro Boros. Probably here, we don't have any blue. Like, blue is the one color we don't have. We could take Glory Bearers and just... It's generically playable. It's not good, but it is playable. Red-white doesn't want Rage Hound, says Jikerman. Maybe I don't know that archetype as deeply as you do, Jikerman, but I don't understand that. I don't know why wouldn't... Is it because it's not an enchantment creature or something? I mean, it's not amazing, but we got this, what, 9th or whatever? Whatever. We'll see. Yeah, we can get Starlit Mantle as a slightly better... Like, Mantle's probably better than Bearers enough to take and hedge here, because we could end up in white-blue, it's true. Yeah, let's take the Mantle. Glory Bearers is so replaceable. This just doesn't even matter, but if we do end up with white-blue... Flyers. Also, you know, if we take the Mantle, this will let us open a Dream Trawler, pack 2, pick 1, or pack 3, pick 1. So let's take this and set up the Dream Trawler open. Relentless Pursuit is interesting, but I'll just take Whirlwind Denial. I think it's one of these two. You like the Thrill? Yeah, I'm in Pursuit or Denial, and I'll take Denial. Well, red's wide open. Bots didn't seem interested, so that's something to note. We'll take Triumph. I don't know, maybe this would be playable in a Boros aggro. Gem. I've not played it before. I've lost to it. We lost to it yesterday. If Oppo gets off to an aggro start and finishes with this, it can be hard to beat. But this is a nice last pick. What do we got here? Looks like our first pick, pretty easy. Yeah. Taranika. Not a bomb, but certainly demands an answer if you drop it on 3 after a 2-drop. We got another Siona that might wheel. Anax is nice. Anax is as someone who plays a lot of aggro red in Constructed, because I'm trying to grind quests and complete my daily wins within a reasonable time frame. Anax has just been my favorite card of this set. Suck it, Wrath effects. Anyway, we're gonna absolutely take the rare. Just thought I'd talk about Anax for a second because I like him so much. So, we're likely to wheel a Siona. We could grab a Warbriar under that potential. We could take Envoy or Blessing. I don't like Birth in this deck. I think it does come down to the two Blessings. I think we're likely to wheel this one. I'm going to hedge on the Warbriar with the Siona wheel. Yeah, I think Envoy, Glory, and Blessing all have a chance to wheel. Continue to hedge, try to figure out where we're at here. Well, I don't think we're at Eutropia per se. The last black card we took was an inevitable end, pack 1, pick 2, but there is an Elspeth's Nightmare here, which is nice. Not much else going on here. Makes me want to take like a Training or the Eutropia as the possible splash in a green-white aura deck. We also take the Omen itself. Thanks for that thought, Jikerman, explaining your thoughts on the Hound. I've been looking at this Eutropia, but other people are looking at Elspeth's Nightmare, splashing that potentially. If we're green-white, we can splash just about anything. This seems poll-worthy. I'm going to call it Nightmare, Eutropia, Training, Omen for the green Omen. Although I don't think we take Omen here. I'm not going to put it in. It's not the time for Omen. If we were going to take Omen, we would take Eutropia as a reason to take Omen. And I'll put in Leonin, but I also don't think that's the pick. I think we would wheel the Leonin. So let's see what y'all think of this. Well, you can just type other. If I didn't give you the one you wanted, type other. But other's going to lose anyway, so. But I'm curious to hear you. I will listen to you if you say other. Some people mentioned it. Nightmare is not really on my pick list given the lack of black in pack 1, but I'm at least throwing it up there. It's a powerful card. Powerful magical card. GRS really doesn't like the Eutropia pick that everybody else is in favor of. What did you land on, GRS? I didn't see your vote. Let me scroll up, see if I can find it. Nightmare. So you want to take the powerful black card, but it's a color that didn't find us a single pick past pick 2 of pack 1. That seems extreme to me, to bank towards this when we have so much else going on in the other colors. Deacon Black doesn't see a profitable splash here. If we pick up an Omen, you don't think that we're possibly splash that? I don't know. I hear you, Fenner, but watch. We'll get an Amulet. I don't regret this pick at all. I think Rage Hound over Amulet is 100% correct. Courser is what somebody else wanted. Interesting. I think Training is the one that I think... What did Training get in the vote? Okay, Training got 5. Like, I was attracted by Eutropia potential and Training as the solid option. I don't think white-blue Selesnya doesn't feel like a trap in this format. It feels solid, and I do expect another Siona. I'm taking Eutropia. I'll go with Chat. Maybe that's a mistake. Chat wants to try it. I'm down. This is an aura we could grab. Fateful End is the best card in the pack. Anyway, Haven, though, is findable, right? If we wanted to accelerate. But what do we want to accelerate to? We're not I mean, we have a Archon, but not doing much else. We could just do Indomitable Will instead. Well, what do you want to take instead, Con Mage? Like, you don't think this is good enough to take here, but what in our colors is really, or would you want to hedge towards black again or take a fateful end? This is not a real card. I think we just take the will. I know it's early for this card, but we've seen it not wheel. If this were just a super reliable wheel, I would snap up the Willow Haven, but I've been keeping an eye on whether this will wheels, and the will does not wheel often enough for me to feel good about passing it here. Mystic Repeal looks fine here. I think we're headed towards green-white. I mean, I'm looking for other colors besides green to pull us, but we just keep getting slightly better cards in green. Plummet out of the board, best of 3 seems fine. I even like Plummet out of the board in best of 3 over a Triumphant Surge. Probably have time to get one of those anyway. Nothing can't pass here. We can take an altar to try and splash, but this is not how I want to splash in green decks. I really want to splash with green cards, with Caryatids and green omens. And if we just can't find a Caryatid and an omen to splash the Eutropia, then I just won't bother. Like, I'd rather do that than take an altar here. And Surge versus Plummet is an interesting choice, but Plummet's like A-level removal out of the board. Surge is like C-level removal no matter what. So I just went for the A out of the board instead of the C generic. Here's an Omen we can grab to support what I was talking about, splashing Eutropia via enchantments. I hear you, Fenor. Also, I hear you, Mabinap, but I'm down on Caryatid, but not unplayable on Caryatid. It's just we try to get it late. Return to Nature, maybe the most sensible pick here. Yeah, we can cut Rage Hound. I don't think we're playing Denial. Although we could still be main blue. We could be white-blue still if it came to that, so I'm going to keep all this. We do want to play Eutropia, I guess, but I want to return. Like, I keep passing Revoke Existence and now Return to Nature. We do have a Mystic Repeal, though. Yeah, I'm with Fenor. I'm going to take Return now. This is just too good of a card. And if Omens come our way, fine. And here's, like, this is what I mean. We take a Caryatid here, or we can take an Omen. But this is the type, like, pick 8 Caryatid is fine, right? Yes, Mogus's Favor sometimes makes you shake your fist, but this is fine. Yeah, I'm going to take, and we're also not really going super wide here. Let's get that pot splash possible. And we did, in fact, wheel our Siona. Here's a Glory Bearers. We've passed a couple of those. And now here's an Omen or the Leonin. Maybe we just take the Leonin. But now we can take the Omen and the Caryatid and have the splash if we want it. We need 2 drops. We have 1, 2... Yeah, you're right. We do need 2 drops. I don't know if we're playing the Wayfarer. I'm going to take the Leonin. We have 1 to the splash, and Omens go late. And we're going to be in much bigger trouble if we don't have decent quantity of 2 drops we can play on 2. So, yeah, also we have this rare that really wants a 2 drop, really wants you to get something out so that on turn 4 you can attack with Taranika and a 2 drop. So I'm going to take Leonin. And we will, again, if we come across splashing, we'll do it, but we don't have to force it. And this is not really great, but we'll take it here. I hope that's awesome, because we're green. What does this do? 7 mana total for a 5/5 trample. If you tap permanent for mana, oh, so actually it's bad. It's cool, but bad. Darn it, I was all excited. Like, it's a mythic, though. I'm not one for passing mythics. We got a couple of them. We can take Chimera. We got the Daxos into Chimera I was talking about. So this is the pick for deck, but it's just we do collection. I have a hard time passing mythics because we are collection building around here, and mythics are the hard part to 4X. Like 4X is one of our goals. The rares I have are easy for me to pass because we're gonna 4X our rares whether we snap up the given one here or there in our drafts or not. But mythics are legit difficult to 4X with our play pattern. So I'm gonna collection build. And we're never playing a 5/5 trampler for 7, so it goes to the graveyard, but or goes to the sideboard. But mythics, man, we're trying to complete a collection. Hard to pass a mythic. Here we have Commanding Presence versus another Apathy. Let's pull this. Pretty clearly those two. Presence, Apathy. Not sure we'd splash a Witness. There's a Myers Grasp that's interesting, but surely we just want the white aura here. The question is which one? Note we have one Pilgrim. So effectively with a Presence, we have an Apathy, a Presence, and then a Pilgrim that can get either. So it gives a Pilgrim a little bit more of a toolbox to have the Presence. But yeah, Apathy is just hard to pass, right? Apathy is straight up removal. I'll go with chat. You think third Apathy is worse than first Presence? Yeah, I hear you, Mabinap. But it's not that much worse, if it's worse. This is a pretty easy Alseid. Fenrir really likes the Presence. Medium Pimpin', what they mean by third is that Pilgrim represents an Apathy. So we have 2 Apathies and a Pilgrim, so it's effectively having 3 things that draw an Apathy. If that's what you meant. Maybe that's not what you want. Maybe that's not what you meant. That's what I meant about it. But pretty easy, I'll say it here. All right, here's a Cling that we... a Chimera that we can grab. Well, we have a Pegasus too. I've heard some people say they just straight up like Pegasus more than Chimera. But this is a deck now that between Pious Wayfarer that we might play, and I'll say it that we are definitely going to play, and things like Leonin, where we do have a legit shot more than just Daxos based to get this out on 3. So I'm going to take Chimera over second Pegasus because we actually do have legit turn 3 possibilities here. Wow, I guess we're in the right colors. Now, if I knew we were going to get an Apathy 5th, of course I would go and take the that Commanding Presence we passed. Do we want another Chimera, though? Probably just another Apathy. Although in these decks, you do need to figure out how you're going to win, and a couple of Chimeras give us an answer to that question. One reason to take the Apathy is that we have double Siona, and so really increasing our certainty of finding removal with Siona. Because, yeah, you know, quote, 4th Apathy is maybe not great, but come on, like 2 Sionas and a Pilgrim says that we're going to find ourselves a lot of Apathies if we go for it. So I don't think we're playing Eutropia right now. I'm going to take Apathy because of what I'm talking about. Double Siona and Pilgrim, to me, says we take Apathy. Well, this is gross. There's nothing here for us at all. Take a gift of strength that we're like, how do we ever play gift of strength? That's just not going to happen. I'm gonna take. It's gonna take vault progress, but I will take one just in case. But you could really take vault progress there, and you would not be in bad shape. Probably want a Grove Dancer here over Omen to continue to offer up 2s. Although we really want white 2-drops so that we can work this Chimera angle. Yeah, we can keep gift in mind on that front. I'm just checking. I don't think if we're splashing, we're probably not splashing this stuff. I'm probably saying at this point we're just not splashing. And this makes me want the Grove Dancer. Omen of the Sun is okay, Resonator, but I am going to go for the cheaper option. I'm going to go for a 2-drop. I think Omen is the better card in the abstract, but we could use a 2 here. Although, man, if I know we have Horn Beetle, maybe I don't do that. Although this isn't exactly a Horn Beetle deck. We're not stacked with 4-power creatures or anything, but it has a target on it, so we're going to take that. No, Gilded Beast. Given that we have 3 ways to find it, I really want to increase our aura count. I really want Siona not to whiff, is the bottom line. Another plummet for the board is fine. Another Grove Dancer to fill out these 2s. Well, Yankum, 7, it depends on how many auras you have. If you only got 4 auras, then Siona can whiff pretty easily. I'll board, in case we just decide we have to have something to deal with Graveyard. All right. Did not give ourselves much breathing room. We have exactly 1 cut to make. And we are on 16-8. We can cut whatever we think is our worst card here. Is it Wayfarer? Let's see, what's our enchantment count? I don't know if we're aggro enough for Wayfarer, even though it helps possibly with the Chimera. We're only at 10 enchantments. I think we cut the Wayfarer and call this a deck. Oh, Petitioner's pretty bad too, though. You're right. Maybe we need to include something else. Grove Dancer is being a 2-drop for us, Fenner. Yeah, I guess Skirmisher's a little better at this trick than Wayfarer for what we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah, the Mythic is not really doing much for us. I don't like Plummet main in this spot simply because we have flyers of our own. So we're not weak to flyers. If we were weak to flyers, then I don't mind the main deck Plummet when you're searching for your 23rd or whatever. But we have, this is doing a job that we're already doing decently. So I only want to bring this in when it's going to do A-level work for us out of the board. Eagle likes the Wayfarer, but it's a 1-2 baseline. And yeah, it lets you throw the +1/+1 around. But if you're not throwing a +1/+1 around, it's actively awful. Like, it's just actively awful if you're not triggering this. And so I like something that's a little less awful if you're not triggering it. I've played with it a decent amount, Fenor. But Fenor, it's about the count. Are you seriously telling me that you're psyched about the Wayfarer at 10 enchantments? Doesn't feel fine to me.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
How is a 2-1 for 2 less awful than a 1-2 for 1? Come on, War Furnace. I mean, do I really need to explain that? 2 power is better than 1 power? A 2 power can trade up for a ton of different things? A 1 power can hardly trade for anything? I mean, I'm willing to debate whether or not this is playable at 10 enchantments or not, but I shouldn't have to explain why I think 2 power is better than 1 power. I don't like it either, Woodrow. We're not talking about our pack one, pick one. We're talking about our 23rd card. But Fenner, the question is not whether this is fine, more than fine, or less than fine. The question is whether it's the correct play over Skirmisher, Caryatid, or even like a Gift of Strength. You know, that this is about what we're playing, not about exactly how good Wayfarer is. So I'll poll it. We've talked about it enough. Let's poll it, and I'll go with whatever chat says. You've heard the arguments. People have made some arguments in chat. I've made my arguments here. We'll go with democracy here, and we'll go pious. This is let's see what we run. This is here. I'll make it 39 cards, so it's pretty clear here that we're looking what we're trying to add. So we're saying what are we adding to this deck? And we are talking pious, Wayfarer, gift for Gift of Strength, Caryatid if you just want to go for the ramp spell, Skirmish. I'll go Skirmish for the Skirmisher. Pious, Gift, Caryatid, Skirmish. Anybody else have a different card they want in? We were at 16 here. I'll show you the numbers one more time before we run the poll. 14-8 is our current. We're looking to add one more to a 14-8, 10 enchantment deck. And I think it's those. I'll give you an other, though. If someone feels like it should be something else. Other could also mean, no, I want you to cut this and add these 2 things or whatever. Other, if you think the answer is not just add one of those 4 cards. Good discussion. Thanks for all your thoughts. A lot of good reasoning from different people for different cards out there. So I did turn off. Stryanek is noticing a stream delay. I give up. I can't. Whenever I try to mess with adding a time delay to account for that, it messes up other stuff. Well, Craig, why isn't there a vote for other then? All right, chat wants to try pious. I get it. I don't like it. I would choose Skirmisher over Wayfarer in this deck, but or even Caryatid, although it really doesn't ramp us to anything other than Archon here. So I would have gone with Skirmisher, but I'm going to go with chat on this. It's not the point, Fenor. I mean, sorry, I'm being snappy, but it's like the arguments have been made, Fenor. I understand your argument, but I'm saying I want 2 drops. I want to be able to trade for things. I want to be able to threaten a 2 toughness creature with a trade. But you got your way, all right? You got your way. You got your way. Yes. but we'll see. I'm gonna... Let's see, we had... I think we need to go buy the... Let's see what lands we need. I know that Nick's lands were redeemed, but I forget which ones we have. I can't go 10-7 when we have 2 drops in green that we are quite interested in casting. Can't quite do 10-7. For me, it's all about 2 drops. Like if this were, let's say that these 3 2-drops were all white creatures, it would be, gosh, it would probably be 11-6 at that point if these were all white. But the fact that we have 2 drops in green means I want 8 green sources minimum. Yankum, I think you have the right attitude, who says, I personally have a hard time spending resources on bling other than the Mastery Pass, because Mastery Pass isn't really bling, that's just value, right? Yankum is adhering to a philosophy I recommend everybody who is a free-to-play player who is sometimes scraping their resource limit, don't buy blingy stuff. We happen to have the resources to do it. But I think you're absolutely correct, Yankum, as a philosophy. We just happen to be... rich. Okay, we have this. Oh, we do. We have both of them already. Awesome. And mostly the blingy stuff is overpriced junk, but basic lands are a weakness of mine. I love a good basic land. I just get mad at Wizards for not giving us a better system for tagging our favorites and quickly updating our basics with our custom basics. Yeah, discussion has been great. A lot of argument, reasonable, that, you know, also in best of 3, running a generic card like Gift of Strength is perfectly reasonable, because you then tend to like, okay, we're going to cut the Gift of Strength for whatever card actually makes sense in this deck. At what point is the Mastery Pass good if you are playing for free? Well, we actually have a tool for that, thanks to our friend Raptor. And Wayfarer on the box. Was there anything else I missed? We've got box, we've got lands, link to bottom middle. And yet Harv, so many people do. Do you understand, right? Like Harv, they're not for you, but Harv, you should be thrilled. Harv should be thrilled that WotC is charging 750 gems for a card style, because other people are buying it, thus lowering how much they're charging you for other stuff. Rat Burglar Sleeves. I knew I was missing something. Thank you, Mama. And thanks all for your patience. We'll get playing here right away. Yeah, our Siona's bad. We've got we've got this, and 3 apathies. It's not as many as we'd like for sure. It's all part of why I'm not thrilled about our friend the Pious Wayfarer. But I still think we run him. And we don't have anything else to play. Like, we were struggling on our 23rd card anyway. If they're overpriced, they'll learn that through people like you choosing not to buy, Harv. Yeah, also notice that they're also running sales now on cosmetics, so I think they try to aim high and then see what people are willing to pay, and they'll adjust those prices. I say keep voting with your wallet by keeping it in your pants or your pocket, and that's the best way to give them a message. All right, we have Leonin and any land into Siona, so we're going to keep this. Oh, thanks. I'll get out of your way. We'll get to battlefield right here. All right, we found our land. That's nice. Physician is likely going to trade for our Leonin, but so be it. Oh, shoot. That was a terrible land play on my part. I deserve to draw Daxos now. Although, frankly, if we draw Daxos, I'd still play Leonin. So not a disaster, but I should be in the habit of leading on planes when I could draw a Daxos in the deck. Too bad we found an Apathy because we wanted to keep our Aura count high for this Siona. Wow, that's a lot of risk Oppo's taking with 1 toughness critters. We're not the deck to punish them for it, but Avenger of Zen is taking on some risk with that stuff. Will is interesting. We could use it to keep the pride alive. I'm gonna go. Just trying to figure out how we're offering this. And yeah, I guess we just send in the Leonin. I bet they trade, and then we play Siona, and we'd actually we'll trade this for any of theirs, including the Physician. It's just inevitable that this is going to trade with something anyway, so might as well trade 1 for 1 as opposed to putting something on board. And we can play Siona. And then if they go to block Siona with the Physician and try to -1 to kill her, then we could use Indomitable Will. Although again, we're down 2 of our 5 auras, so we're actually likely to whiff here. I think we're at 30 cards, so we're not a favorite to hit here. I don't think. Instead, we found all the other 3 auras in our deck. Funny. So funny. Which one do we want? If we get Blessing and a land, we could Blessing and Will next turn. So yeah, I'm going to take Blessing. We already have an Apathy. Another Physician. Okay, Oppo, okay. I get it. Physicians. Can't find any land here. Will could give us a 3/4. And if we get a 3/4, we blank one of their Physician. They'll try and I think we should attack and see how they block. I'm going to attack here and see how they block. We could put the bounty out, I suppose. Well, yeah. I mean, we got to trade the Viper for something. I wouldn't mind trading Siona for the Viper. We can just do no attacks too. Yeah, I'm going to go bounty, and then we'll leave Will up and pass. We got to find some land. We're probably trading Alceid for a Physician trigger. Death trigger. Okay, I can't lose, right? This is... Oppo's playing a lot of last pick or worst cards here. Well, I'm going to play Beetle and leave up Alceid activation. I'm just going to play a long game here. I can't believe we're not punishing this deck stuck on 2 lands playing cards like Fruit of Tizerus, but magic being magic here. Lampad plus Physicians does mean Oppo can also throw -1/-1 around if they want. Don't love sending this out into no Alseid mana. It basically lets Oppo sack a Physician to kill the bounty without us being able to do anything about it. But I'd be okay with that because they can't sack to kill the Taranaka, and I really just want to try setting up attacking with Taranaka next turn. So yeah, if we can start attacking with this, we basically win. But we're going shields down on our Alseid to set it up. But with Oppo stuck on 2, we've got to apply pressure. Can't just wait. Or we have been just waiting because of necessity, but we don't want to just wait. We want to apply pressure while they're struggling. Return to nature at instant speed gives us some play against this Lampad, depending on what they do. Still looking for land, but we do get a pretty good attack here between protection with bounty and will. We have both will and bounty to protect. Yeah, we're looking to get that Viper to trade off with something. Or we're looking to get that Viper to trade off with the Alseid, basically. That they block something with the Viper and we Alseid to save. 27 cards in library and 1 in exile. So I'll let you do the math. You can figure out if they're 40 or not. I'm going to send in Siona if, let's see. I'm just trying to figure out, I want to be putting us in a spot where we get the trigger on Siona if we happen to want to use something like this. I don't think we're going to use these this turn, though. And if we do, it's probably going to be to save Taranaka. So I don't think it matters too much, but I'm just trying to think it all through. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it did Mox. I think you're right that it doesn't, but wanted to think it through. Okay, looks like it's going to be great for us. I think they're going to try to go for the Taranaka kill, which we can prevent with the Indomitable Will. And, of course, we're going to go for protection from green for Siona. Oh, wait, I didn't even need to do that. Oppo confused me by their... Sorry, folks. Oppo punted and it caused me to punt. I was thinking I needed to do that because of Oppo's play. Magic's hard. I think we'll still be fine here, but that's embarrassing. Yeah, my Oppo got into my head. Choose black. I probably should have. You're right. Don't worry. We still got this. They're going to do some stuff here to try and get our veteran, and we're going to play Indomitable Will, and we're going to play our will and break theirs. Oh, they're not even doing that? What are they doing? That didn't even work. I don't even need to do that. All right. Yeah, it's true. I think you can fairly call that a punt just from my own brain, but it was funny that... oh, interesting. Well, we can just let this happen. I mean, do we even care? Why are they doing that? Wow, Oppo, you want to kill Taranika, I think? Like, I don't even care about the 1-1. We just let him have this. I don't think so. I'd rather save the will. And then we can return to nature the Lampad as well. I don't care about the 1-1. I care about keeping the will in hand. You wanted a 1-1 just to give Taranika something to do? Well, Taranika has the beetle to work with. Yeah, that's interesting. We could put the will on the Taranika, and then beetle starts getting big. But I still don't see the need. Yeah, I still don't like that play because we're fine without it. I mean, we would be getting this big and it would shorten their clock. That's true. But I'm going to keep building my board. Yeah, but making Taranika 4-4 would make this even bigger, make it a 5-5, because the counters would count. This goes shields down on Indomitable Will, unfortunately, but I'm gonna do it. All right, Harpy, no big deal. Oppo is on 1 toughness tribal. Oh, look, some land. Now I'm willing to will and bless and go full aggro. And I'm going to put this here. Solid turn. A lot of different ways I think you could have approached that turn, but they were all pretty good for us. All right. Oppo tricked me with their poor line into making a punt. Tricky, tricky Oppo. But we got the game anyway. All right. Green, black. They got 1 flyer, but not one worth bringing in a plummet over. Probably no changes, right? We don't have much to work with. It's basically whether or not plummets are good or whether we want to change the Wayfarer. I mean, we're on the draw now, so maybe you could make the argument to cut the Wayfarer for something better on the play or on the draw. You have anything to punish 1 toughness? Not really. We could bring in this. You want to splash Underworld Fires? I hope you're not serious, Razor. We don't want 5/5 trample for 7, though, is the problem, right? I don't know. Playing Magic punishes 1 toughness. Leonin is bad. We just don't have much to replace with is the problem. I mean, what do you want to do? Like, I kind of want to bring in the gift. I'm going to run it back, though. That's true. 1/1s are, yeah, 1/1s, making 1/1s is good against Oppo. And even though Leonin is like not great, it does trade. Yeah, maybe we do need to cut that. We got lucky in terms of the sequencing last time. We do this. All right, fine, I'll do this. Literally, who cares? Archangel being confident. We do seem to be strong favorites in the matchup based on what we've seen, but I'm not taking anything for granted. Yol 5 lander, we'll keep it and find our 6th land on top. But it is a keep. It's got Siona, it's got removal. Whoa. We drew a action on a 5 lander. That never happens. There's the land flood. Yeah, action to affect Siona's percentage. Main phase omen from Oppo. Pressure is on now. Come on, let's find an aura. Come on, come on, come on. All right, we found one. We got lucky. I think we were under 50% to find that apathy, but we did. And that's rough. Really want to find a creature nowish. That ain't no creature. Well, gang, we're going to lose to Physician, main phase, White Omen. If we do, we're losing to the Myers Grasp, not that. But don't like using this now on anything. So we're going to go for one more turn to find some creature action. Probably find ourselves a Gift of Strength now. Gift of Strength would be Poetic Justice, as people are slamming our poor Oppo and some of their deck choices. Seems fair. Seems fair, everybody. Maybe we have to Apathy something now. Pretty ugly, but I don't think... Oh! Sorry, folks. You know I meant to Apathy, right? That was just a UI punt. Like, I can get mad at myself. I'm way madder at myself for the for giving that creature pro green. That was just a UI punt, and I shrug those off. It's not like I can learn anything from that. Yeah, and now I should Apathy it though. Now I'm flustered though. Clearly I'm flustered. No, it was just a UI punt. They happen, but then it was a UI punt into flustered, not following up with the Apathy that I should have. Yeah, I can repeal my own will. Well, we do want to make better targets for the next one, right? For the next Siona. Land to just lol. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What a hilarious game. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Perhaps this is being Roddy, but we're also on the play. Clearly being without creatures against Oppo is the biggest problem. And I'll grant all of you that Skirmisher is much worse against this Oppo than Pious Wayfarer, because all we want to do is block 1/1s. But maybe we just bring in Petitioner. Yeah, GRS and I are thinking about Petitioner here. If they're going to be a little bit aggro, we can gain some life back and block their ground stuff. I don't love the green though. We are on 8 sources of green though. I can't cut an Apathy, right? Like, I know they're on small stuff, but I still can't cut removal. I'm just going to try and play it correctly in game 3. Yeah, Flicker could be a cut, but then for what? I mean, we're also short on playables. We could cut Flicker for just a gift. Six drop for what? This is all got to be for what? We can put another Skirmisher in. We can put the Skirmisher back in. Oh, sure. And I still think we want the Archon too. All right, here we go. Yeah, Repeal's not great against them, you're right. They do have a Lampad, though, and I would expect some other potential stuff. All right, another 5-lander. Threatening to flood, but we're going to keep with the Daxos. No 5-lander keeps, Panoramic says, getting exactly that. Well, they've shown Myers Grasp, which has been their MV. Basically, they've shown a bunch of terrible cards and Myers Grasp. This is Oppo's deck. Grim Physician isn't terrible, but Oppo has some. This is legit terrible. But Oppo's running some below replacement cards. This is definitely below replacement. Kind of want to just trade a Grove Dancer for a Physician. They've got 3 cards left. We've got a bunch of land and a card we can't cast yet. Yeah, I guess we are trading. This is a stupid Grove Dancer, though, right? I mean, this is like a 14th pick card that we were trading for their 14th pick card. That's fine. Yeah, we just want this game to go long, so we'll make these offers. Archon, not a bad draw unless they strip our hand before we can cast it. Yeah, what happens in a draft where you end up with so many of these? I don't know. Yeah, we could trade Daxos off. It's true. I think I'm going to give... Oh, they don't even want to offer the Physician? Interesting. All right. I figured they'd offer the Physician for Daxos. They're not doing that. We find one white creature, though, and Daxos doesn't just trade it brick walls endlessly. Well, Oppo seems to be still learning the game based on some of their plays, or they're just distracted like me. I mean, I don't want to make presumptions, but Oppo's play patterns have suggested that they are at the lower stages of the learning curve of the game. Or maybe for draft. You know, some people have played the game forever but don't draft much and overthink Grim Physician, that kind of thing. I hope we don't lose this match. But If they keep not sending their Grim Physician into Daxos, that's got to be good. The name Avenger of Zen suggests a familiarity with Magic's history. You know, this is a reference to Avenger of Zendikar. So it's not like they don't know Magic's history. They just might not be good at this draft format or something. Forerunner, that's something to repeal. Finally. Now we could leave this back, but the Archon should handle the defense. And Oppo hasn't shown the removal for Daxos, so I'm assuming they don't have it for Archon. We need to fade shields down for 1 turn, then we get Life's Bounty on the protection. Haj wishes we had traded Daxos off. Of course, if we had, we'd now lose Daxos to Harpy. Doesn't mean I was right or wrong, but at least it's something. I'm gonna play, I'll say it and swing. I don't know if they know how protection works, but we're gonna find out. Let's see if they, I don't think they can come up with blocks that make me regret anything with this. I'll say it out. Although Daxos is effectively a 2/4 because we may sack the Life's Bounty here. Thank you, Moose. Mighty cheers from the Moose. All right, they're looking to trade Physician for Life's Bounty. That makes sense. Basically, Physician doesn't kill Daxos, but then they throw the -1 on Life's Bounty, and then we have to sack it. Yes. I'm not going to do anything until they... oh, sorry, we're on me now. All right, let's see what they... where they put this. All right, and we could give something pro, but I'm not sure what that does for us exactly. So we'll just let this go. I can't do it. Why not? We should, for what it's worth. Yeah, play around Plummet. Although the thing is it doesn't, because if they had Plummet, they respond right now with Plummet, right? So it doesn't play around Plummet, which is why it's kind of spinning wheels to do that. Question is, do we want to Apathy here? We could face discard 2. I'm going to save the Apathy. We might lose it to discard. They could play Aspect of Lamprey or something that would make me sad. But they could also play something better than a Harpy here that we'd be happy to have the Apathy around for. Yeah. All right, there's something we Apathy. I'll hold the land. Yeah, they could drop some mega bomb on us and just show us that sometimes Magic isn't about your worst card, it's about your best card. Yeah, we'll exile either in response or at end of turn, but we might as well show some threat of something. We have a +3/+3 instant, you know. Yeah, I mean, we can leave Apathy on board because it makes Daxos 1 point bigger, but that doesn't matter that much. I think we'd much rather have the Apathy in the yard in case Archon dies. There we go. I was wondering if we would have to leave Archon back, but with Pegasus going to give us life from Daxos and then being able to activate for lifelink, we're fine. Like, yeah, let's actually make sure, though. They have 3 cards in the yard, so they could do 1 more, but they can't do this twice. Yeah, I got to actually remember to read the bad cards Oppos are playing in case they happen to be good in the moment. And that 1 extra point of life is a pretty big game, since a bunch of the stuff they have deals exactly 2. Getting to an odd life total is effectively like getting to 8. And there you go. Deacon's worried about exactly that, but I think we're okay. Now we're at 8, and they don't have attacks unless they can also take out the Archon or Daxos. Yeah, I'm not sure what deck this is supposed to be in, or whether it's supposed to be for Constructed or something. I don't know. Oh, Apathy shows you why Minions return maybe not the best. Also, they could have flashed it. They're going to wish they had flashed it. All right, well, almost had to quit my Magic career and made some embarrassing punts. 1 brain-related, 1 just UI-related that I can forgive myself easily for. But yeah, it was funny. Oppo punted so convincingly it caused me to punt right behind them. But retirement averted. We did manage to get the win. So let's just remember that part of it, right? Right. Pay no attention. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. I don't know what we really learned from that match, though. I don't know if we learned anything except watch out for blindly reacting to a poor opponent. Oh my goodness, this again. We've been getting these 5 landers today. I'm mulliganing this one because it's got no creatures, although if we found one, it would be fine. Yeah, we'll keep this. What we really want is a plains, but so we're going to keep this and I think just pitch a forest and be greedy. I mean, we could put the flicker to the bottom, but Chimera and Taranaka, we need a plains. We're gonna need a plains to win this game, so I might as well plan for it. I'm planning to get a plains. I know, but it's not a, but it's like, I feel like if we don't, like if we draw plains, we're fine. And if we don't, we're in trouble. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Like the forest almost feels meaningless towards our ability to win this game. The only place it becomes meaningful is if like we play Taranika, and she's killed, and then we can't get Chimera out on 3, and we're, you know, or on 3 plains forest, you know. Like we just need a plains, and if we get the plains, we're good. So if we find the plains we need, we don't need that forest, and if we don't find the plains we need, the forest wouldn't have helped us anyway. My rationale incorporates a little bit of greed as well. We're mulliganing, so therefore I want to take a little bit more risk to try and recover our position down cards. What is the Flicker doing for us? It's being a spell we can cast at some point. If they,
There are some who call me Tim.
I mean, if having a Flicker in your opening hand, is making you go, oh, what are we doing with Flicker? Well, let's cut Flicker. You know? Sure, Resonator, right now I'd rather have a forest than a Flicker. Right now at this moment. At the beginning of that, but I still stand by my decision. I will offer a Grove Dancer, because obviously if they would like to Grove Dancer trade for Timuret, we would take that. And we could... Yeah, I'm going to repeal it. We could return it to nature. But they're black, so it means they may have escape cards. We may want to use this exile target card from a graveyard clause here. So even though it's more mana efficient to use the return to nature, I chose to use the repeal. Now we'll go here. Tryptamine, don't we have a... Is this one of our viewers? Did I get a viewer matchup? I feel like we have someone who uses tryptamine in their name around here. Yeah, I hear you, Resonator. It's possible my choice was suboptimal, but I felt like I had good reasons. I'm gonna stay back. We're gonna try and get Taranika going. Too valuable, so we're gonna go... We're gonna destroy this enchantment and just give up our Grove Dancer. And this can't block, so we do get a good attack. We had a 2-for-1 ourselves, but it was a 2-for-1 to save Taranika, which I think is worth it. Not going to trade here because we want the attacker for Taranika. And we're comfortably ahead in the race if they want to race. We're just hoping they don't have removal for our rare. And if they don't, we're in great shape. Still worth it. I'm going to give up the Leonin here and flicker Taranika. Actually, we can wait on the flicker. Now I wish we could take out this charger, but we can't. Oh well. You agree with me though? I think with this hand we go for keeping Taranika. Really? Deacon wants to let this go. I think we're in fine shape to no, once this is on the stack, you've got to do it. I'm doing it. I'm keeping Taranika. I think she's that good for in this spot especially. Now we're going to stay back on D. We'll block the charger and then flicker and save damage. They might not even attack because they don't want to give us a trade for the thing we have to sacrifice anyway. Oh, geez. Sorry, you're right. I missed an attack. My bad. Big one, too. They should be at 8. Didn't read my rare. Thanks for watching me despite me punting left and right. I wish I was better. But it's a reminder. I like to say my stream shows you how much you can punt and still win 62% of your matches. Spawn. All right, we're going to apathy that thing after this turn here. Hopefully we find a plains. I guess we can't apathy in Daxos anyway. Right, G-Pick. I hope you find that valuable. I wish I was a pro level player. I wish I never gave you all the opportunity to type exclamation point punt. But I know where I'm at. I do. It's just the way it is. And we get to learn from my mistakes as well as my successes. All right. This can't block, and apathy is going to drop on the spawn so that we can keep attacking. Yeah, I definitely punt more as a streamer. There's no question about it, but I'm also not going to tell you all that, like, off air, I'm somehow not punting. You know, I punt off air too, and I do things like missing vigilance or giving protection to something that has indestructible. Like this, the same punts that I'm making here on stream, I do make in the privacy of my own home as well. Oh yeah, let's see. I don't think it was a punt because they don't have enough in the yard to really make us hurt for it, but we did give them the ability to put spawn in the yard. We have to get them before they get us. It's true, we have to play our cards. We could have taken a turn off attacking and gone with Daxos instead. They are willing to put something in let this Lampad go to the yard so that they can spawn and kill Taranika. We're not going to let that happen. We're just going to say no blocks. Sometimes I figure it out. I mean, they only have one other card, so they actually need 2 more cards in their yard. But we don't want to give them any help towards that right now. If we find a land, we can go Daxos into Daybreak. That would be sweet, sweet, sweet. I mean, if we find a... oh, no, we can't. Sorry, we need all plains to do that. This forest makes that impossible. Never mind. Well, shoot. This is one that's really just starting to slip away as the Timoret Calls the Dead is going to enable the spawn next turn. We're going to actually probably play our Glory Bearers. Man alive.
There are some who call me Tim.
Well, wrong color land. But I think we do play out the Glory Bearers because we're expecting to get spawned next turn. But I don't think we're going to win this one. This is now officially slipping way away from us. We stayed short on land for too long. And I did, of course, bin our 3rd land, but it was a forest. I think if we had been stuck on plains, forest, not much would have changed here. I'm not trying to just find correctness in my decision, but just really looking back on that because there was some question as to whether or not we keep the flicker or keep the forest, and I don't know which keep is right in the time traveling supercomputer way, and I don't even know which is right from this game standpoint. Well, if we thought we were in trouble before, that did not improve things. But maybe Tryptamine had to go and we're going to get a match win off of Clock. I'll take it. Oh no, they're still there. I do not believe that Tryptamine is sniping. Tryptamine is a longtime viewer, and if this is Tryptamine, I'm sure they are muted and minimized even if they're in the chat. Going for Daxos to add to toughness and set up for life gain if something needs to die. We don't have good attacks here though, so no attacks. I would agree that black and white are the 2 colors I've seen trend towards monocolored in this format. Like, be capable of it, I should say. Mono white has a good aggro curve out, and mono black has a good control plan with the Gary and everything. All right. One, two, three, four. Are we just dead? Let's see if we... Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. Didn't really see any flyers there, so we're not bringing our plummets in. Bring Petitioner in to counteract some Gary-ishness, but I don't know if it's worth that. Probably just running this back, honestly. Anybody want to run this Petitioner? If so, over what? We just don't... The trouble is it doesn't gain a lot. Like... Our devotion to green is never going to be high. We have a Siona that could be in play, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 other. Like our maximum devotion to green is before Petitioner is going to be 5. So like the most we can get out of this is 7. Nah. Why are we worried about too slow? I don't like that thought, East. I mean, they're doing some aggressive things, but this is pretty control-y, ultimately. I don't know, this looks like control-y go long to me. So I think we want to keep our high end. Yeah, I don't see much to change here. I'm going to run it back. Unless we want a skirmisher in, because it matches up on the ground better somehow. All right, looks great. Don't have anything on 3, but we've got a nice 2, 4, 6. You can do that if you want, True. True talks about not scooping in case Oppo is working on quests or something. I never consider opponents' quests in my decision-making. I consider my own time to be more important than my opponent's quests. And if that proves frustrating, then that's something that Wizards should change. I'm going to play a Plains and I'm going to pass here with no attacks. There's no way they're going to block their Timuret with Grove Dancer. However, they may play 1 black pip and attack with their 2/3 Timuret, in which case we can try and will our way to a dead Timmy. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you this, by the way.
There are some who call me Tim.
Myers Grasp, we could make a 0/1 if we wanted, but that doesn't seem worth it. We'll just play a Pegasus next turn. Well, what... I mean, the only thing you're helping them with is kill creatures, I think. In fact, I designed the initial quest system and the initial quests that we used, and as I can also go I could go Hornbeetle and try and will it, but I'm just going to go Pegasus here. Yeah, I guess did I miss a mill? Yeah, I guess I missed a mill. But we actually made an effort to not use things like attack. I don't think do we have is the attack quest still in there? Like we had an attack with creatures that we took out at one point because of possible feel bads on that front, but we it was something we thought about. We thought about, is it going to feel bad to want to be completing this quest and have your opponent scoop and prevent you? And we tried to avoid those. I don't know if they brought them back in. Okay, so it is. They do have the attack. Yeah, I cut the attack from my early work on the quests because I didn't like what a feel bad it was for oppos to scoop on you there. But maybe it's not big a deal. Not a big deal. I certainly am not spending any of my time making somebody else feel better about, or worrying about somebody else's quests. Not high on my list. Let's see. So here we could go Indomitable Will, Daybreak Chimera. A little bit of fancy play syndrome, though. And I think I'd rather just... Horn Beetle, keep the will up, or we can... I guess I'm overthinking it. I should just Chimera. I'm going to attack in Chimera. Sometimes the Chimera is just a 3/3 flyer for 5, which is effectively what it was here. But I didn't see anything else that I liked. I mean, yeah, Rob, we could throw the will out, but do we really want to use effectively what we're trying to use as a combat trick just to get the Chimera out for cheaper? Like, the Chimera still gets out. The difference is we have a will in hand. And, of course, 1 power and 2 toughness less on the board, but still, I like having this in hand. We can use it on the Chimera to start pumping the Beetle. I like that better, or... Charger. All right, well, with no land, it was going to be pretty straightforward that we try to work some kind of combination of will and beetle and everything. We still could, though. What if we go hold off for 1 turn on... I think you just drop the Archon, but we can actually do this, this, and this all this turn here, which is pretty interesting to me with them tapped out. So I'm going to take this line. And this gives us a 2-turn clock in the air, which if we drop this is a protected 2-turn clock. You know, protected meaning even if they kill something, it's still a 2-turn clock. Would that be better on the life linker? It would gain us more life, but I put it on the Chimera so that we could start making the Beetle get big. Sorry, lizard. We're gonna take this and hope that our lifelink and all this stuff just contributes to a racing situation that favors us. We're not gonna get lifelink next turn. We're gonna drop the Archon, but still. I think they need a significant play here, or we're in pretty decent shape. Somewhat risky against Gary, but how else are we gonna kind of get there? So Lampad maybe means now we have to use Sunmate. We actually need lifelink. So if we go to 11 and keep everything back, yeah, we're up against the race is suddenly not so much in our favor as it was the first time. Look at this. Well, we can do you want to activate though? Yeah, Lampad plus Gary kind of says we're dead anyway, right? So then I'm going to watch our Chimera drag to the underworld. All right. Well, in that case, new plan. Archon pass. Where's our Archon? Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, 8 from Gary plus a Lampad is dead. Well, no, it didn't. It didn't count. I guess it timed me out and didn't count the Archon as being cast until after combat. I let the timer go a little long. Hey, Wizards of the Coast, thanks for the host. Well, no great options here. I'm on block Hierophant with Hornbeetle and double block 5/5 with Pegasus and Archon, and know that we unfortunately get nothing back for the Archon because of Oppo's smart Timoretting. Still hate that ability. Still, Wizards, I don't think you should have put 1 in a black, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards on an uncommon, on a highly playable uncommon in your limited format that uses the graveyard so much. Let's see. So we go like this. Could do that. Let's just look at everything. We did this. We take 5, 7, but then they lamp at us and kill us. So that's just GG. So I don't think we can do that. We can't kill the Lampad without... I guess we could do this to kill the lampad, but then we need... What does this look like? Yeah, I don't think we can kill lampad, or we just die. Ah! Now I'm gonna die because of timing out. Sorry. No hourglasses. I think we were pretty screwed on this one. But I just lost us the game, sorry. Clock loss, but I think we were done for on game state anyway. I could not figure out... Yeah, I'm with you, Harv. It's pretty cruel to mess you over there. Although you have to have a clock. If you just turn the clock off during declare blockers, then what? Then I get to walk away for 2 hours, right? Like, maybe you should give some automatic padding there. But at some point, the clock needs to be the clock. Well, I'm sorry you started with us, Tryptamine. Not feeling great today. Feeling like I'm playing a little shoddy. Felt that way last week, too. Maybe I'm just getting old and bad. Maybe it's this or worse from here on out, folks. Not great, but I'm going to keep. We have Leonin into apathy. Obviously, would love to find a forest on top now so that we can go Siona instead of having to consider reactive stuff. Alright, well, as far as reactive stuff goes, this is a good one to have. We can just, well, do we want to apathy this? Man, I guess we just offer this. Ugh. We could apathy it, maybe because if we don't draw a plains, if we don't draw a forest or a white card next turn, we have no plays at all. And this would be worth exiling if we have nothing else to do. So I'm going to apathy out of concern that we don't draw what we need next turn, and that this is a nice, powerful rare that is worth it, even though if they come up with, you know, something to put in their graveyard here, they do get to activate. It's not like this turns off the end step activation, end step trigger. Well, they traded 1 for 1, and we certainly didn't find anything to do with that turn, so here we are.
There are some who call me Tim.
Thanks, Deck. This is going well. No way, East. No way. You can't say it's a B- just because it comes out in its perfect spot and does something useful. I'm not saying it's unplayable, but B- is too. I think it's definitely in the C range. I think David and East have come up with the range in which I would put Libation. I think it's like D+ at worst and B- at best. Well, magic being magic to us again. Hopefully we can come back to win the next two if we can't find a turnaround here, which is becoming increasingly unlikely. Gary GG. Here comes Gary GG. I'm ready for it. No. Well, it's castable. Shows them that we have it, but since we're not technically dead, I should play it.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Think that just kills us? No, not dead, but we got a chump Daxos, which doesn't help us. Great. Classic magic. Here's that card you've been waiting for and is way too late to help you now. Right? It's way too late, right? We have nothing. We can only play one spell, and that's not nearly enough to survive, so we won't even show him our second color. You got away with it, Slim Shady. We're coming for you. Heavy black, touch of white. Saw one flyer that we would not mind plummeting. White suggests there might be others, but I still don't like bringing in a plummet just for that. Although, with white, I think I can bring in one. We can bring in one. We've got this Wayfarer that was on the edge of playability anyway. Do that. It's not a great deck. Wayfarer is not unplayable, but this isn't a great deck for it. All right, well, hopefully Chimera on 4 if we can find another planes. I'm not going to pass this, though. We've got a turn 1 play, a turn 3 play. We've been lucky on Siona hits so far. We got 5 targets in the deck, and we're hoping not to draw one before we play her to maximize our odds. Kind of 2 Sionas and only 5 Auras sums up the mediocrity of this deck. It's got some... And, of course, we draw the worst, the not even close worst card in our deck, a Forest. If we could exile all forests from our deck right now, we'd happily do so. All right, well, there's our planes at least. Want non-land now. All right, found Blessing and Apathy. I'm going to take Blessing so that we have the chance to... Well, do we want Blessing? Because we're going to Chimera next turn. If we draw... then there's like nothing that's going to change that. Then it's going to cost us 3. So we're not going to be able to play the Blessing anyway. May as well go for Apathy. The only reason I was considering Blessing in case there was a window for us to actually get it out next turn. Since there's no chance of a double spell, though, Resonator is correct. We go Apathy, and actually we get the nice position of at least Chimera with Alseid activation up. That's enough of that Deck, no more lands, please. Deck, no more lands. We're good. So, way good. Charger can't block, and we are not going to block ourselves, even though we have... Oh, if we do, it's for the Chimera and the Bounty, so let's attack. I'm not going to offer even... Like, technically, we would be trying to Chimera and trade, but... They have all this open mana. I guess they don't have double black, so they can't have the uncommon. But I still think we're racing and fine to race. Yeah, I know we could try and... Resonator, we could try and trade Alseid for Chimera, for Charger, but I don't like putting the Chimera at risk on that play. Pretty good mill for them in the sense that they cleared out lands. Unless they wanted it, it's possible they desperately need a second swamp. We are so done with lands, but the deck is not cooperating. Just have to hope that we that this pays off. We could also get rid of the Charger, but we're trying to race here, so we'll let the Charger do its thing, and we're just going to Apathy the Hierophant and keep swinging. Yeah, worst case is we trade Alseid for a Trick Resonator, and that truly wasn't the worst, but look, we're doing fine in this race, so I'm just sticking with the race plan here until Oppo does something to convince me otherwise. And we get to keep the bounty up for protecting our stuff for as attackers rather than blockers. Flooded out heavily, but our key spells were not killed, and therefore Oppo gave it up. Good question on bounty. I believe it is creature, but you can do a exclamation point check on it. Nothing to do early, because Pegasus is a 4-drop, but we're going to keep with the nice mana split and the nice spell land split. Could get run over here if we get unlucky, but I don't think you can send this hand back. There you go. I suppose we should have known that. These things tend to be creature or enchantment in this set. Playing a Plains in case we draw Daxos. Daxos would be a great draw. Nope, another 4. I'll just run a Forest out. They may play the rare flyer that we'd want to plummet. Really hope we find something useful to do next turn, or Oppo gives us something useful to kill next turn. I guess that qualifies as something useful to do. Want to do something useful before we untap for our 4th turn, ideally. Hey, that qualifies. Faux show. No problem with that. Libation, and that's where Libation is more D+, right? Guess we'll get an Apathy here. Wouldn't mind getting our Pegasus tougher, so like a 2/5 Vigilant Lifelink Pegasus actually could be pretty appealing. Yeah, we do have the Flicker, though, for the Flicker Apathy play. All right. Flicker Apathy play. makes it worth it. For those of you who don't know what that means, basically once apathy is deployed, you go into full control, activate the exile clause, and with the exile clause on the stack, you flicker the apathy onto a different creature, and the first creature is still exiled. Found our blessing anyway. I'm gonna go with Pegasus though. Oppo stuck on... no. Yeah, Oppo stuck on 3 because they're on the play, right? Love for this Pegasus to survive. If the Pegasus survives, I like our chances quite a bit. Hey, look at plummet target acquired. And we're gonna charge in with and see if plummet can't get us a 2-for-1. With 5 mana, we definitely want to plummet, assuming they don't block. Do we want to spend 3 mana anywhere else, like apathy something? No, I'm going to just send in for now. I guess we could activate. That would be the thing to do. Yeah, let's activate, because I definitely am going to plummet the bird. Or repeal it. I can actually... ooh, this is an enchantment, so we could actually repeal it if we want. Trouble is, that we don't know how many other plummet targets we have. We could... oh, here's one, though. We could just plummet and repeal right now, and activate for the lifelink. Yeah, I actually like doing that. Let's do all of those things. There's no... I don't think they're double blocking there. I suppose I could have gone in ahead of time and see, but I don't think they were going to. But I should have made them. Once I decided I was going to use both of those, I just kind of did it. But I should have given Oppo a chance to make a mistake. They may have felt that at 3 mana they couldn't play around it. But we're doing all right here, it looks like. I'm going to go with Daxos over Glory Bearers so we can keep Flicker to save Sunmane. And because of my desire to keep Sunmane around, I'm not even going to activate the lifelink and Vigilance. We have the upper hand here, and if I can keep this Pegasus alive, I think we're in great shape. So I just want to keep this Flicker up. But now with land, we kind of have it all. We can go Glory Bearers, keep up Flicker. I'm going to continue to not activate, though. Flicker will stay up. Yeah, Oppo having bad luck on the mana here. We're going to try and take that advantage to the bank. And now, with plenty of mana to spare for what's going on, we start activating that. Can't bring myself to blessing, like, to use removal on this Piper. Even though it's like getting 2 blocks, like maybe it was just worth the apathy for 6 damage over the course of 2 turns. I don't know, maybe I'm probably being too conservative. And in fact, I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm going to blessing away their chump. Yeah, we could flicker the goat too. We could also blessing it. I guess I'll wait and see what they want to do. Because we can flicker. That's a good point. Omen. All right. All right, well now they're going to clog up the ground so much I'm not going to use Flicker or Blessing or whatever. We're just going to keep charging in on the ground, I think. Oh, I think we bottomed it. The flyers on the bottom of their library. Yeah, Flicker the token, Dreadful Apathy, we win. Okay, got it. We win-ish, right? They're at 8, so we don't quite... They go to 1, but it's worth doing. With the level... With how much removal we have. Forgot to activate this. Still might as well. Blessing is not lethal, right? Blessing doesn't add power. Hey, turns out it was lethal. Well, we got some gems back no matter what. That always feels good. Getting that second win in best of 3. It's just like a big relief moment of like, okay, got some gems back. Got some gems back. Hey there, thanks for waiting. We're gonna jump back in. We are 2-1, seeking some profit. Our deck is okay. Certainly not great, but it is okay.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
All right, let's try out this Wayfarer. This is our last edition. I ran a poll to decide whether we can run Wayfarer or Skirmisher or Pump Spell. Those were kind of our top 3 last choices in the draft.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you so much for those subs. Appreciate that, Jikerman. Mike, 1976. Always glad to have you here, Mike. Oh, sorry. How about I get in the right spot? There I am. So, forest or plains. We only have white cards. All of our green is a splash. I'm just going to play a plains here, stay a little bit disguised in what's up. I'm going to offer this Wayfarer, but unlikely to have the offer taken. Yeah, it's weird that our game 1 Oppo had the same turn 2 play in both of our last matches. This rare flyer. Gonna go search up an apathy here because we have the flicker to do the flicker apathy trick. Although I could use Wayfarer to pick off the 2-1. I actually like building out our board with creatures, and then eventually we'll get Flicker Apathy online. Oh. Okay, we've got Will, which adds 1/2, but effectively it adds 2/3 because of the Pious Wayfarer. So adding 2/3 at instant speed allows both of these creatures to win combat against the Marauder. However, and yeah, we can just follow with the Glory Bearers after that if they don't take that bait. I don't think they're going to block. But then Glory Bearers, Marauder will become a 2/2. That's true. That's true. We could wait until we get this Apathy gone. Yeah, I'll say no attacks at all, and we'll just Glory Bearers here. I didn't, Archangel. Mike, I didn't get the 2 damage because I liked what whoever pointed out that, yeah, GPIC pointed out that if we do go for some kind of trade with the Marauder, it allows Oppo to get value out of Ephemia that they don't have yet. So I liked waiting on that. And we may go Apathy up top. And then we have Archon and try to win that way. We use Indomitable Will to win on the ground after we get rid of Ephemia. All right, well, now Ephemia is going to get it going on. Now I'm wishing I got the blessing. I'm going to Apathy. It's a little sad, but if we do get the... If we get a Plains next turn, we can actually do the Flicker Apathy trick and flicker onto the Marauder. And we have to take some damage if they get aggressive because we don't want to give them any more fodder for the 2-1. But we can take 1 slam from everything here if they want to send it. I don't think they will anyway. I think they're not wanting to trade for the Glory Bearers unless they can kill the Bearers. Maybe they bleep us the Bearers and then they've got a good attack or whatever. But I like our play for next turn. We just got to survive this turn without getting completely wrecked. And Final Death means we're going to take some damage, but I said we might anyway. It's fine if this... Yeah, we can block the token. I mean, heck, we can just chump if we want. Should we chump? Well, we can flicker our own Pilgrim and get the freaking... get another Apathy if that's what we want, you know? Regardless, I think we no block here and decide what to do next turn. All right, found some land. So we can do the flicker trick. Exile and then flicker it back onto the Marauder. And if we do that... Or the other thing we can do is block... We can exile this at any point, block, and just flicker the Pilgrim to get a fresh copy of Apathy back. Then we have an Apathy card. Then there's a copy of the Apathy in the graveyard for Archon, and one on the that we can put on the battlefield. Yeah, all right, we'll go with the flicker trick. Ooh, okay. Well, waiting helps because that means this is the Marauder's only going to get worse. But I'm going to do it now so that it doesn't get to attack, and we get this done before they draw something. Although I don't know that they could draw that would interfere here, but I'm going to do this. Pick the right one this time, Ryan. G-Pick likes having this in the yard. Thing is, we'll get it in the yard soon enough, right? Just one activate. We're just 3 spare mana away from activating that anyway. It's got trample. I'm going to say no blocks here. Try and get on board with our own defenses coming up. Like this, for example. Although trample makes it through protection, so we got to keep that in mind. We can go 3/3 with no protection. I like... Alceid and Leonin. And we'll keep everything back here. Just try and turn the corner here. That's pretty strong too, but we still get double block Leonin and Pilgrim on the 3/2. Horn Beetle. Awkward. Jeez, Oppo. I thought we had the corner turned, and now Oppo's just dumping it on the board. Wow. Wow. From, hey, we turned the corner to, hey, here's 3 things that get sequentially worse in terms of your outlook. Mike wanted the will up. I put in the bounty instead. But I think this turn from Oppo is just too good for us. We're just in a devastated state now. Nothing to do here, but this and this. We're going to lose our Pilgrim, but it's worth it to save the damage. All right, Blessing plus Veteran could do it. What do we want? Let's see. So now we've got to bless the Lampad, right? And then, or we bless the, let's see, what do we do? What do we do? Right, but we have Blessing now, so we can kill, we have to kill the Lampad or we lose. Although if we kill anything but the Lampad, then they don't have 4. I think we have to... Taranika, and then Blessing, right? Well, we're gonna exile to stop the beetle. We don't have time to spend 3 mana on a threat that's already stopped. Like, you really think we have time to exile this thing? I guess then this blocks this, but it doesn't though. This makes it a oh wait, is it? Yeah. Okay, then we barely survive. Blessing post combat. We don't have time for that. All right.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Obviously, if they have pump, we're dead. But if they don't, we have a chance. we almost had it turned, but now we just did. I don't see anything that saves us, so I'm not going to show them anything. They just top deck that? Come on. Hard fought, didn't end up the way we wanted. Nothing in the air. We're not bringing in Plummet, obviously. I mean, they have the Ephemia, so not nothing. But we brought in Plummet against Ephemia when they were white-black, and we thought maybe there was other white flyers. I don't like bringing in Plummet against Ephemia against green-black, because we just don't know if there's any other flyers. Why did you have to Apathy then? Because if we didn't Apathy, the beetle becomes a 4/4 and starts eating everything. Keeping the beetle a 3/3 allowed us to trade with it, and then if they didn't have another creature, we were actually stable. So we did it. It was correct, or at least it gave us a line. I shouldn't say it was correct, because that implies I understand all of the consequences, but it was a line that allowed us to live by trading with the beetle. That was in my considerations. I think I was running out of clock and just had to do something. But yeah, I'm just going to run it back. Yeah, I think that line is fine too. I think that's the line I was looking at, and then I got distracted, or whatever, not distracted. I followed another line, but that was on the consideration. I'm not sure which is better. I'm liking the format. It's been tough on my ego, but I like the format. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we have to send this back. This beetle looks so appealing as a 2-drop, but keep in mind that mostly for us, this beetle is like a 2/2, mostly. All right, we'll keep this and ditch a forest and hope we find our way back. Yankum wants him on a 10-turn clock. Don't think it's a very good 10-turn clock as far as 10-turn clocks go. I know that Oppo doesn't know that it's not better than a 2/2, but still. Yeah. I'm going to attack. Certainly we're trading this off for the Viper eventually anyway. Might as well get lifelink out of it. Only argument not just trade is that maybe eventually we want to protect an Archon or something, but that feels so far away I didn't really worry about it. Get one of the Apathies. Could Apathy that, but I don't like it. I'm just going to... Can it do it to itself? It does sack itself. So to not give them the ability to self-sack, I'll just go ahead and repeal this. And we get one in. Also, repeals are less flexible removal. You know, it's pretty narrow. It's powerful but narrow, so just use it while you've got a reasonable target. It makes some sense. Don't love to see more land, but at least we're going to get an Archon out on time. Gonna Do we apathy this, knowing we do want to get it eventually? I just don't want to give him a turn to deal with the apathy, and it might be 2 turns because we're going to go Archon next turn. I'm going to go ahead and apathy this under the hope that it's still there for us to exile in 2 turns. Yeah, the fact that Oppo did play this out into a known apathy maybe means they have some enchantment removal or something. You'd rather exile now than play the Archon? Boy, that's rough. But it does change it, keep him from drawing a card. I guess they just drew a bunch of cards. Yeah, let's exile it now, not because I fear they're going to even save the champion, but because I don't want them to draw even a single card off it. Thank you, Haj. Really appreciate that. Appreciate your contributions to the channel. We're gonna apathy and exile again. They're just gonna start getting a steady stream of creatures that I don't want to have to deal with it. These 2/2s. So yet again, we're gonna do that. All right. I'm just bracing for aspect of Lamprey, so when it's not that, I feel good. It's a big boy. I'm gonna go with Archon here, though. They'll still attack with their Berserker, why wouldn't they? But we'll see if they attack with a 2/2. What bluffs or tricks they want to represent. But if they do anything other than exile the Archon, at least we get an apathy back. And right to the battlefield, like it goes straight onto the Berserker. Yeah, I don't want to block. Not blocking, but maybe the fact that we have a 4/4 for some reason makes them not want to risk their 5/4. Maybe they think that that's their win condition and they don't want to trade. That was an awfully long tank for that play. I guess they were just deciding whether or not they really wanted to do this, but here we go. Boy. Tough, but here, let's start with Siona, see what happens from here. Swing and a whiff. Waiting for that to happen. We deserve some whiffs with our odds, but we just hadn't missed yet, but we were, in general, expecting to whiff with Siona, so no big shock there. Yeah, mostly Siona is tough to make work. I mean, you'd think with digging 7 deep you'd be fine, but I mean, we have 5 auras, you draw some, it's still pretty low chance. You really want 6 or 7 auras before you feel like you're going to hit every time with Siona. Well, we would love to trade off for that Freaka spawn. Oh, Oppo's given us the chance to do so. We'll happily take it. Maybe they have something up here, something to stop this trade from happening, but we have to play like they don't. Get to exile something with escape. Well, folks, looks like I may stop my stream on time today, unfortunately. We need some help here, or we're just going to get reduced to 0 with some middling stuff, but good enough here. Good enough here. We're going to not block anything this turn, though, and we're going to try and find something off the top to save us. There is a chance we can find 4 power, although maybe we don't have 4 power in the deck without the Archon. It takes 2 cards for us to 4 power. What are we even looking for? Probably Daxos. That just makes it 2-3. Yeah, we're in deep trouble. Like, there's not even... I can't find draws that I'm particularly happy with, which maybe means that I'm supposed to actually trade the Beetle off. But I'm going to wait one more turn and see if we can't add just one more point of power to at least threaten the Nyx Herald before the 2-2. Or that, you know, we could get that. Man, it's kind of been going like that recently. I haven't been playing my best, but I've also not been drawing my best, and boy, that's a rough combination. Now we have to block here and hope we find an answer for the Herald. Somehow that lets us survive. I don't know what that is, but yeah, that's about... That seems fair. This deck deserves this. I don't like to talk about deserving things when it comes to Magic because that can get you in the wrong mindset, but I'll say that I'm not that disappointed with a 2-2 result here. Glad we got some gems back. I'm going to remember to save out the deck, though, for future battles. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Not my greatest day of playing, not our greatest day of draws, but 2-2ing with a deck we thought was average seems like an appropriate result when it comes down to it. I guess I would just encourage you all to take away what I keep taking away about streaming. It's really humbling to get every mistake you make called out by the world, but it's also the single greatest benefit I wasn't anticipating about streaming. It's been incredible to have such a dedicated crew of people analyzing my game and letting me know where I am or might be misplaying, because it's really let me focus on places I need to improve. 25 years later, identifying leaks that I still have, still failing to plug various leaks and everything. But ultimately, I think the takeaway continues to be, look at how much I punt and look at what my win percentage is. I am punting multiple times a day to different levels of severity, but you know, every day we find a couple of things I do wrong, and despite that, I'm winning about 62-63% of my matches. So I just want that to give everybody hope. Maybe you think you're a better player than me based on your results. Maybe you think you're a worse player than me. We all have a long way to go. but it's exciting to know just how skillful this game is, because if I'm winning 62.5% at my current fail rate, my current mistake rate, imagine how much EV I have to capture if I can tighten up these problem places, tighten up my game in areas I know I'm leaking. I could push that up 0.5% higher. So thank you for helping me plug my leaks, chat. I appreciate it, and hopefully it gives you all some hope to know that we all make a bunch of mistakes, and this game is so hard that you can have a nice win percentage even through that. So hopefully that's your takeaway. Really appreciate you hanging out, and we'll catch you later, YouTube friends and everybody else. See ya.